Hey guys, I started this before I was ready. I'm sorry. I gotta get this set up here. Am I in frame? Jesus Christ. I'm the worst at this. I don't know why y'all watch me. Oh boy. Who just arrived? Someone's here. Let's see here. There's 2 people's here. 4. What's up? I got sprayed by a skunk. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna talk about that in my next actual video. The dog got us sprayed. So this is an H-1 salt. It's basically an Endura. They're a little bit different, but this belongs to a friend of ours that works at the brewery across the street from Fire and Forge Knife Works. And I felt this and I'm like, I gotta sharpen this for him. So I'm sharpening it for him as a favor. But I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys have tried H-1 steel? And what's you guys' opinions of it? Because I like the nitrogen-based steels. This gentleman has used a pull-through on this a lot. It's gonna have to be done on a diamond. And that's been my general experience with it. It sharpens real easily. It takes a nice fine edge, but it doesn't apparently hold. But it's another one of those weird ones that just doesn't quite feel the same as some of the other steels that I'm used to dealing with on stones. It just doesn't, not quite as different as SM100, but definitely it's different. The interaction between it and the stones. So if you guys didn't hear on Instagram, like I said, I got sprayed by skunk and I've been trying desperately to get the house cleaned up before my wife gets back to get rid of the smell. It's pretty fucking horrible. We got sprayed at the front door. Opened the door, the dog lunged out. There was a skunk right there. Sprayed in the door, sprayed me, sprayed the tile, sprayed the dog, sprayed the wall, got it into the bedroom on the carpet, and some of it apparently made it airborne, and it was on the bed. And I've spent the last couple days just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. I've went through 3 bottles of the Febreze that you spray on fabric, 2 bottles of the aerosol spray, and a bottle of some stuff that does the, it didn't work. Did not work. Tried the borax already. But every time I think I've got it all, I find another spot that I'm like, oh, there, that's where it's coming from. I can smell it now because it happened at the front, and as the air blows this direction, I can smell it where the skunk sprayed the house. And it's pretty potent, pretty strong. I tried the tomato juice thing. Who won the giveaway? A guy named 1326. And I have to sharpen that as well and get that ready to go. I'd like to get it done and out the door, but I've been busy with Stinky in there. The thing that I've noticed about the H-1 steel, it doesn't feel like it's cutting, and it seems pretty wear resistant against stones, but then the edge doesn't hold up. So let's see what I can do for this guy's knife. It's pretty shitty shape. But I like the idea that it is so, I won't say it's completely corrosion proof, because there is steel in it. The only material I know that's 100% corrosion proof are the like SM100, those alloys, you know, that there's no steel in. This doesn't have the carbon in it, but it still has steel in it, and steel will, well, thank you very much. Steel will eventually rust. I guarantee there would be something that could stain this. I've just never tested, because steel oxidizes. It has to. There's an interaction between steel and oxygen that's just going to happen. The nitrogen-based steels just are way better at resisting it. So, whew, boy, edge on this is bad. We got a reprieve. It's not hot today. We got a little reprieve in the heat. We got another heat wave coming, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was last week. And when you guys hear me say that it's too hot for me to sharpen, I'm not saying it's too hot for me to sharpen physically. It's because it gets so hot that the water just evaporates off my stones. And it's not that I'm overheating or it's bad for me. You just can't keep the stones wet enough when it gets too hot, and that's why I'd been getting up early in the morning and stuff like that. But you reach a point where it's hot enough the water just evaporates off of them before you can, you know, faster than you can keep it spraying water on the stones or dumping them back in their buckets. So it makes it kind of hard. Jesus, it stinks out here. What was that on? It's about 84, almost 85, Nico. So Spyderco started using this. It's not Macho Man Randy Savage. It's Brady Bacon. Brady Bacon. Brady. It's a race car driver. Macho Man Randy Savage. No. I may be a hillbilly, but I'm not that hillbilly. I don't watch WWF. Brady Bacon, he is a sprint car driver out of Indiana. Actually, he runs, his home track is good racing, sprint car racing. Wingless sprints, the USAC series. He runs. They come out, he comes out for Oval Nationals out here San Diego every year in around October, which is the biggest, I think it's the biggest race. It's one of the biggest races. What was that? Just heard? Just redneck anime. It's true. I've never been a big wrestling fan. Just never was. Don't get me wrong, did grow up where I grew up, so I did have to watch it occasionally, but it's just not something that I see. I don't know whether they're asking is H1 steel exclusive to Spyderco. I don't know if it's just the way they branded a nitrogen steel. I don't know for sure. But I know that they came out with the Pacific Salt. Now they've switched. The Salt series is no longer in H1 steel. They've switched to a different steel, and I think they switched it to LCN 200N, which is the same thing that the Spidey Chef is made out of, and I love that. It's the same, basically the same as Z Finite. And I like that. That stuff gets ridiculous sharp because it's got a really fine grain structure. It takes a really super fine edge. This does not. I've done H1 steel a bunch of times, and it doesn't seem to take near as fine an edge, but the work that this guy's doing, he's not going to want a fine edge. We're probably only going to go to about 600 or 800 grit on this one, because I know what this customer does with his knife. So it's probably going to be a fairly toothy edge for the stuff that he's going to want to do with it. Maybe take it to 1,000. I might stop at 1,000, because that's going to let him cut line and burlap bags and stuff like that. Working at a brewery, he's got to cut grain bags and stuff like that. It's not going to need to be a super fine edge. It actually would be counterproductive for it to be a very fine edge. So Dwayne Smotherman has a knife here that he paid in beer. He's a good guy. It's not that much work. I sharpen knives for some people for free. There are some people that do get some free sharpening. Nico gets a lot of, if it's not something he's selling, Nico basically doesn't pay me for sharpening. Matt a lot of times doesn't have to pay for sharpening. It just depends on what it is they want me to work on. Yeah, I don't like the H1 near as much as I like the LCN 200N or Z Finite. Yes, I met Nick the other, what was it, not this last Friday, but the Friday before. I got to meet Nick. No, I will not tell you what he looks like. No, I won't talk to you about anything we discussed. Never is going to be a picture of Nick. He's a very private person. He enjoys his privacy, and I would never intrude upon that. Okay. The wedding gift? The wedding gift kitchen knife, or your new one that you bought on Mass Drop? Because you keep saying it, I'm going to sharpen that one too. It's kind of windy today. It's nice, I got a breeze going. So I did not realize until, what was that? He should do a live stream from the forge, smooth all the mirrors, wear a cowl. I've done live feeds from the forge. Oh, you mean Nick. That's a ski mask you could wear. So I couldn't figure out why I kept having, I couldn't get the, like I would clean up and clean up and clean up, and it, I kept walking into the kitchen and I kept getting this smell. Well, apparently, I didn't notice it, but the dog and I got sprayed by that skunk, and it gets in your eyes, and I didn't pay attention. She apparently rolled all over her mat. Her doggy bed that's in here in the kitchen, and I'm hoping to be able to salvage it. But I would clean the whole house, and I'm like, I can still smell skunk. Where the fuck is it coming from? Cleaned the carpets, did everything, and I'd go in and I'd smell the carpet, and I was like, I don't smell it. Why does the house still smell it? I couldn't find any place. Then I got her mat and pulled it up, and I was like, oh, there it is. So I pulled all the stuffing out of it, and I'm currently washing the stuffing, and hopefully I can salvage the dog's mat. because I washed the outside, everything, and I'm hoping, really hoping that I don't have to buy a new doggy bed. That, and this whole area smells like it because the dog sprayed like the front of the house and everything too. And so now when the wind blows, it's all you can smell back here. And the fans pick it up and drag it back in the house, so. So the only thing I've found that really does it, vinegar didn't do it. So all these things, tomato juice, I tried it. So now, I'm a country boy. I grew up in the fucking woods and stomped around the woods and was out in the woods at night and stuff like that. And never once in the 20 years that I lived back home before I joined, about 17 years, did I ever get sprayed by a skunk. I've been sprayed by a skunk twice in the last 3 years here in San Diego, city of 1 million people. And my sister and I were talking about it, and she's right, I know why. It's because country skunks are scared of people. City skunks, they're used to us. You didn't get skunks that came around the house too often when I was a kid, growing up. I mean, you'd see them like on the road where they got hit by cars, but you didn't see them like around the house. So, nowhere near as timid here. Let's get that. I gotta go back inside. It stinks out here. This is fucking miserable. Start wearing my respirator out here to clean, or sharpen, I mean. That's a decent edge. That's a decent working edge for 1000 grit should be fine for what he wants it for. It'll be all right. So I got a couple new Patreons. So I'll kind of give them a shout out. One of them is Drew L. Another one is Brian Wallace, who actually hangs out at the forge every once in a while. And then I think there's one more, but I'll make sure I do an actual shout out in the next video I shoot. So I had an idea of talking about fixed blade EDCs, but the problem is I don't have any. I have one that I made, and I was going to kind of talk about that, but the problem with that is if I don't have any examples, I kind of wish that I had done it when I had one of those Guardian 3s, and I could just show like a couple, like Guardian 3, and then that small fixed blade that I made for my daughter, and then which I'm making a few of those, but with a Warrenclyffe style. And so that's a video I want to do, but it's really hard when I don't have any. Gut blade show West tickets. I'll give you my email, but I don't have anything to print on. So we'll talk about that. I'll give you a call after, Nico. Spyderco Pacific Salt, I think is what this one is. Yeah, this is the Pacific Salt. They're not bad little knives. But working the brewery where you're going to be around caustics, and acid, and salt, and things like that, you're going to want something that's really resilient and rust resistant. Now I will tell you that the thing I've noticed is this stuff scratches real easily, and to the point where this knife is kind of off center, and I tried tightening it to see if it would do anything. This has got spots where it's just got a polished area where it rubs on the FRN handles. They there's some issues with this knife. But as far as something you can romp on and trash and have it around chemicals, this would probably be the one. That's a good edge. It's a decent working edge. It's bitey. The other thing about this steel is, like I said, it's soft, but this isn't Endura, it's Pacific Salt. It looks almost identical, but there's some minor differences. It's got just the one screw that's the pocket clip screw. So you just need a big flathead, and then the grip on it is different, and it is not listed as an Endura. It is a Pacific Salt. I like the Enduras too. I don't have an Endura anymore. I had one and I sold it, but what I do have is I have an Endura variant, which is my Matriarch 2. Same handle, same everything, except the blade shape is different. And I'm like, you know, I haven't carried my Endura, any of my Enduras that I had, or I had a Delica for a while. I hadn't carried them in so long that it just didn't make sense. So I sold them. And then there's this. God, I love this knife. This is right up there with one of my favorite knives. It's up there with the ones that Nico got for me. Well, the one that Nico got for me and the one that Nico and Matt got for me. We're gonna go inside because guess what? I was done out here. I'll take my beer and y'all, I'm gonna go sit on the love seat in my bedroom because that's the coolest room in the house. Even though it's not hot, the sun hits this house, it gets hot. So I've got some Vipers that I'm gonna try and get done. I might just start throwing out a one of my neck knives every, I don't know, every few weeks. I might start doing that. And then I have Dwayne Smotherman's knife, his Master Blaster. Well, here, let's go do that. I'll show you. His Master Blaster, he saw mine, and Dwayne said, well, what would it take? Yeah, that's at my house. It's at my house. It's right here. Right here is, we'll do a comparison. I'll show you. It's fucking cool. So Dwayne saw this and was like, I really like that. Do you think Elliot could do something similar to it? He said, I don't want to. I said, look, even if he tries to do it exactly like mine, it's going to be different. So what he did was, here, let's turn this around. So this one was mine. That is mine. And then he took Dwayne's and then he did a bit of a different pattern. It's just enough different. And then pocket clip and everything are different. And he did a stone pattern on the spine. So his is enough different than mine. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten upset even if it did look exactly the same, but it looks way different when you take a look at them side by side. It's nice. I do like it a lot. So, bro, why would you even ask me how much something was? That's their business. I'm in a non-disclosure with them. I wouldn't tell you even if I did know. I couldn't tell you. I'm part of their non-disclosure agreement. Things that I know about what goes on at Fair and Forge, I am not allowed to tell. So, sorry. Life sucks. Buy a helmet. I do not work at Fair and Forge. It is not my place to get involved in talking about their business and their costs and what they charge people for what. So, good. You can log out then. I'm gonna get off of here anyway. Guys, I have got those knives that I put up for sale that you guys saw. Sorry, schmutz on the lens. I've got those knives still for sale. The Viper is gone. It's ready to go. But I've got that SOG, that big SOG Pentagon Elite 2. I've got the 2 customs that that I'm still selling. So if any of you guys are interested in any of that stuff, just let me know. But other than that, I'm gonna get off of here because I'm fucking worn out and about half sick to my stomach. I don't know why, so I'm gonna get off of here. I might do an Instagram feed later just to bullshit, but I don't think so. So you guys, take it easy. That's all I want to do. I just wanted to sharpen that H1 salt and see what you guys' take on it is. I like the nitrogen-based steels, but I think I like LCN 200N better than H1. And I think that's why Spyderco did too. That's why they switched. So, all right, guys, take it easy. I'll talk to you later.